let's talk a little bit in terms of, the location and so on. I mean, I love both New York and SF. I think both have, like you said, right, good and bad. And I think people, if people have a choice, and depending on where they are in life, it makes sense for them. Uh, then let's talk a little bit about SecurityPal, and what you're building. We've obviously seen a lot of updates and so on. But tell us a little bit in terms of why that problem. Like, with entrepreneurs, there's always so many things you can be working on, whether it's software and so on. But why did you choose security as the problem, right? And tell us also how you're trying to like democratize all of this.
Yeah. So, truth be told, right? I don't come from the world of cybersecurity. I'm actually like new to it. I think that lends to it some some fresh perspective and a fresh approach to the market. I really I ended up being aware of this problem really in my previous company. And so, the sort of like 30-second elevator pitch about SecurityPal for folks that don't know is, we're a San Francisco based cybersecurity company. And what we essentially do is we help companies when they're bringing their product to market or when they're selling their product into different enterprises. Let's say the Fortune 1000 usually end up having to go through some type of a security review, security audit, or security questionnaire. And it's a process that can take months, and it can actually delay the commercial transaction. It can delay the deal by weeks, months, sometimes. And SecurityPal is really there to help expedite the completion of these security reviews, security questionnaires, security audits, so you can close the deal quickly and you can get it done. A lot of the times it's the industry is full of like these like really boring solutions where you have to sit there like filling out forms or like copying and pasting and stuff like that. And we sort of absorb a lot of that on the back end. So really you don't have to, if you have a security question, if you have a security review that needs to be completed, it gets done pretty much immediately. And so, and we just announced, it was picked up by Yahoo Finance and some of these other outlets the other day that we've completed over 1 million security questions answered on behalf of our customers as they're going to market.
Insane.
So it's a really amazing data set for us to have as well as we go into AI. And then, we announced like same day delivery where, we're able to turn these things around in a day. So it like truly never delays a commercial transaction. And we're really fortunate to have amazing customers like, Figma, Airtable, and amazing investors as well. So that's a little bit of background about SecurityPal. I ended up running into this problem really at my previous company. I was at this company called Teamable. I was Teamable. It was a referral recruiting software. I was one of the sort of like later stage co-founders that joined to help bring the product to market. And we scaled that to several $1 million in ARR. And in that journey, I also learned about, what it means to actually like sell your product to enterprises. And I ended up having to like repeatedly fill out these questionnaires, these reviews, these really complicated like RFP documents, and none of the solutions out there were really solving my problem. A lot of the AI was really broken. A lot of the workflow products were really broken. And as I was doing research, so I was facing this problem as I was doing research. There's no solution out there. And I also was, quite frankly, I think the underlying reason why I'm doing this maybe goes a little bit deeper, which is just that I also became really concerned about startups being bogged down by paperwork.
Of course.
I think this is like a bigger problem, much bigger problem than we anticipate. There's this sort of like famous Mark Andreessen quote from 2011 that software is eating the world. And I think, it's probably more true today than ever before that software is eating the world. It's eating everything around us. But there's also another trend happening, which is, regulation, compliance, security is eating software. Exactly. And like and this is probably a trend that doesn't get talked about often, but it's creating real roadblocks, bottlenecks, challenges in the journey to go to market and the journey to scale. And a lot of it just boils down to just really annoying, boring, complicated paperwork, and
it's filled with jargon and
exactly. And so the sort of like concern I fundamentally had was like, well, we love software. We love, we love building. But yeah, there's a lot of like, these hurdles are going to create a bunch of challenges for startups.
Right.
I fundamentally, honestly, became concerned about like the state of innovation. Like I think innovation is one of the great forces for good, right?
Right.
And we want more innovation. We want more companies. We don't want just the biggest companies to reap all the benefits.
Right.
And as a student of history, like, one of the big reasons why I think we haven't had that much innovation in car companies until like Tesla came around, or energy or manufacturing. I think one of the reasons is because of some of these anti-monopolist regulations that came about at the turn of the previous century. With breaking up Standard Oil, breaking up like the steel sort of like monopolies. And what ended up happening was, one of the things that regulation does is that it sort of like raises the barrier to entry for a lot of companies. And when the barrier to entry is increased, it increases the costs to getting started.
Right.
So if the cost to getting started is increased, then that creates a whole host of challenges for startups. So that was like the underlying concern. SecurityPal is really like, a wedge product, right? Like we're like, okay, let's solve this problem. This is the problem that companies are facing today. And then, back in, around March, April 2020, I decided to go full time. I was doing a little bit of part-time gigs, researching this problem. And then I had a customer that was willing to sign up and pay up front. And I hadn't even incorporated the company. So I was like, I think this is like a good sign. It's just sort of like sign a product market potential.
Exactly.
Let's
right.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that. No, I love that, and I think a lot of people don't realize how hard selling is. Right. Selling software is, and especially to enterprise customers and so on. The sales cycle itself is so long, and you add this layer of compliance and everything, and I love that you're solving that. That definitely is important.